So today we're searching for some lost soldiers here, and I want to actually show you where we are. If I can pan around this field, you can see how far we are away from the vehicles. Hi, how are you, Stephen? And we're where the first Battle of Courland really took place. We had units from the Infantry Division 215, as well as even foreign Waffen-SS units such as the Nederland. So the 5th Guards Army actually attacked along here, along this whole ridge from my right to left. And they were attacking towards Liepāja, the port of Liepāja. And of course, by capturing the port, they could deny the Germans the use of the port. So for resupply reasons is likely, and to break this Courland pocket. And the battle here lasted for over a few days. It was a good few days, and it was brutal. A lot of people fell here from both sides of the conflict. And I hope to bring you a decent live stream today, so if anybody gives any good feedback, it would be great. If you could share it, let's get the numbers up. I'm just sorting the gimbal out before I go into the forest, because forests are, you can see how warm it is. Have a look. Not easy. So let me try and get this gimbal ready, and then I can continue the story of what happened. So that guards army actually didn't succeed in breaking through here. After 4 days, the Germans were able to retake these positions around here in these small farm settlements. So the first Battle of Courland was decided in the German advantage. They were able to take this place again. So I'm having a problem with my gimbal today, but I'll try and keep it as good as possible. We've got all the international guys here, so we've got guys from all over Europe. And they're all searching now in this forest. We're searching because of a tip-off from a possible cemetery, and I know they've found a soldier in here already, so this will be really interesting. Yeah. So yeah, the gimbal's yeah.
We found a German soldier.
Let's have a look. Victor's, this gimbal's playing around a little. It's falling always, huh?
Because he's
yeah, likely too warm, huh? Yeah. So it's testing the equipment here too. I'll try and get in the shade. So I'm going to follow Victor's, and let's see what we can do. Sorry guys, the gimbal's not been good to me here. So just to finish that story quickly, the first Battle of Courland was decided in the late days of October, early November here in this area, when after a 4-day battle with 5th Guards Army, German SS, Waffen-SS unit, a fighting unit in the Waffen-SS, and they were actually from the Netherlands, so they were all Dutch people. So like the conditions here, a lot of growth still laying on the ground, and it seems they've found a German soldier, so let's get in here. And I'm sorry, it looks like the gimbal has let us down today. so the footage won't be as nice as normal. And okay, yeah, just let me test it a little, and then the gimbal. So we found a soldier. Oh, here we go. That's the dog tag. So it's a German soldier.
Uden.
Tas minerāls nemauks iekšā uzreiz baigi.
Nē.
Gāzēt vai negāzēt? Gāzēt. Vismaz.
So the gimbal's good to go. Come there.
Johnny, daldies pa labu dienu šodien. Ko visi te skatās, neviens netulko?
Jā, tāpēc, ka aizpējuši augstāk,
Jā. Karstums baigais, neko atrast nevar. Pareizi.
Minor. So, I'm cleaning the dog tag, which looks interesting.
Один, три, 3-2, 3-2.
На сече учитываем,
Что
лайвстрим не нужен.
Т, Г,
Не нужен.
Let's
не
see it.
нужен сейчас.
Can you cover the number of it?
Don't need now for live stream the name. Yeah. Make a picture and to. Nu, viņš korodējis, viņš uzburbējis un viņš augšā, un tas vēl laika būs tikai sliktāk.
Here, I have a little metal brush.
No, it's
Yeah,
it's corroded.
Yeah, it's quite corroded though.
Yeah, corroded. Each moment will get worse. First, just to make the pictures.
And did he find this with a signal, or how did it start here? Or how did we find the soldier?
No, it's a signal built там.
Gadders had a signal.
There's a pit.
Yes, he had a signal.
Yeah, that's the question.
But he didn't know what is it.
Yeah, for sure. So he's just dug a signal and found a soldier.
And other side, IG, Ersatz Company.
Infanteriegeschütz, it means IG. Interesting. So it's pretty readable. They should be able to identify that person. That's a good find. Exactly, Ian, they are. Gimbal's bad. Gimbal's. It's off now.
No. How hot? Yeah. Test how hot.
I can't let go of the phone. I have to fucking hold the phone.
No, grazen.
Yeah, it's warm.
Warm.
Yeah. So bear with me, guys. I'm going to take this off the gimbal. The image is going to shake up a little bit, but I'm going to take it off the gimbal because doesn't make any sense. And the gimbal's too warm. It's too warm today, guys. It's really hot. Have a look where we are in the forest. So guys, am I buffering every few seconds? No. Okay. So I'm gonna stay here for a while.
Who stays here for a while that he goes down deep? Explain them again, Johnny. Why stuff like this in forest? Why should be left?
Yeah, for sure. This stuff shouldn't be left in the forest. This has to be taken out of the forest. And Gary's probably a good person to explain that too. I mean, because anybody could come along here and get this signal, and then they've just stolen somebody's identity and left a soldier underneath. That would be very sad. That would be wouldn't be nice. I'll try and see. You can see some remains of some clothes and bones. So yeah, I'll give you an update in a wee second. I'll tell you what's going on. Just need to get my own kit sorted out first. Yeah, the equipment's not liking the hot weather. So I'll walk around a bit here. So one of our Lithuanian members, he's actually a member of another group too, and he's been walking here. We've just been searching in this forest. A beautiful forest. And he's got a signal with his metal detector, and it's immediately a dog tag with a body. And it's a German soldier.
I despair.
And what sort of stuff have you found, Inka?
This was laying on the surface, so it's somebody who has dug it out for me.
So there's diggers walking around here already?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's an anti-tank grenade, cut in half by detonation. And
So it's perfectly safe, first of all. So Inka can perfectly hold this in his hand and nothing's going to happen to him.
pure metal.
Yeah. He knows what he's looking at.
Something has struck it, made a scar in it. I think this would be beautiful when it's cleaned up.
Yeah, it would be. He was just lying on the surface.
Some diorama of it, a tiny tank. Or something.
Yeah, exactly. We found a lot of, down on that farm down there,
Yeah.
a lot of Lend-Lease made munitions lying all over the farm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we got them all cleaned up.
pieces of German tank are all around here.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I found a track and a periscope. Some other diggers found it, and there is a lot of big chunks of iron here that looks to be from armor.
Okay, yeah.
So
Well, I actually was able to find out what unit was over there, and it was the 5th Guards Army, and they supposedly had Shermans, so
yeah, well, that
it makes sense, yeah. And they attacked this place for 3 days
Yeah.
in October, November 44.
Okay.
Yeah. The Verpass story I've already told. I've told it up on the hill over there.
Yeah.
I got a guy, Verpass, who's killed over the hill, just over the other side. So I thought it was a good story, get the drone up and
Oh yeah.
make some nice footage.
Oh, you need to inform me more about that later.
Yeah, for sure, I've got it in my bag. We can have a look at it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can show the live stream.
Yeah. Have you told them how warm it is here today?
Yeah, it's the conditions are. I'll let you describe it. It's really warm, huh?
Yeah. It must be up around 30 degrees Celsius.
29.
Mosquito fast, so.
Yeah. The gimbal overheated. I thought it would be worth telling you. So let's have a closer look what's come out of here, or what signs are here now. You know, Vilma, who knows what she's doing in this case, is checking it. Trying to get the space down to the layer of where the soldier's been found. Guys, we've got a whole 48 views here at the minute. It would be awesome if people could share it. We've just found another person, so it would be great to get the word out. People should know what's going on here. All these volunteers are in the forest, cleaning these forests in Latvia. Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, so just to recap, one of our Lithuanian guys has found a dog tag here through a signal with his metal detector, and he's came straight down onto a German soldier. He's found a dog tag. So I'm without my gimbal today, so the gimbal overheated. And the police are here. Police have been called.
No?
Yeah. I'll not invade the policeman's privacy. I'll let him get on with his work. He's talking with the boss, so.
We're going to get the lowdown on what's happening in this area.
What's up?
Is Johnny Bay doing his live feed?
Uh-huh.
I thought I'd jump on mine and do one here.
The gimbal overheated, it's too warm.
Thank you. Playboy, hello. The big problem. Shifty, you missing the action? So, can I get you to come on camera, Robert?
Samuel Anderson also watching. Oh, I need the Wayne.
Can I get you to come on camera and say a bit about him?
The banter. What's been found here? I'll have a closer look at some small items. They seem to be taken out here.
Robert's is one of my good pals and also a Legenda member. So, okay, so here we go.
So the dog tag is in pretty bad condition, but still.
Yeah, Robert's just going to show the dog tag.
So we found a soldier and we've got his tag. So he's gonna.
You can't anyway see the number on it. It's this number you need to. This is the number that needs to be taken away. The top one, which is the stam roll number. So you don't know who it is. Yeah,
but still.
Data protection stuff. I mean, you can't be showing everything like that.
Lithuanians got the soldier just from signaling some bit.
Why would the police ask us to stop? We've called them. Yeah. I think for I'll just ask. Talis called the police for
For the
they've come here to make sure that any ordnance for the EOD teams.
We have
Exactly.
We have a system that first you call the police.
Yeah.
And,
So Robert's is going to explain the system first.
we call to the police.
See, my guys watching, you already know. I just explained just a
Then they
minute
go
ago.
to OED team, and they come pick them up, or it's too dangerous. They just detonate it here if it's possible. If not, then they take it to some special places and just.
And detonate it. Yeah. So yeah, they're doing their job. We'll just let them do their job.
Units in Latvia to do that.
So
and
this
one
is
is located in Courland.
Another soldier that's going to get identified and buried.
Exactly.
One of our Lithuanian figures, this is Wilma. And as I said before, she's got bigger balls than most blokes I know. And she's out there doing this work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very warm today. But guys, please share the feed if you can. I mean, we're way down to 52 people watching live. Get on the share and spread the word. And what are you watching? And why are you watching it? And it's important. Need to educate people that Legenda's work's important. And they work with the local authorities to get this work done. We've just had the police here, so... So it looks like he's had a head injury. That soldier.
Johnny, what kind of soldier was?
That's just an infantry soldier. He's an infantry soldier, according to his tag. And you can see a lot of his uniforms there too.
Nice clear identification for that day.
Yeah.
Denis Fedotov's.
Can you hold that? I'm gonna get the... Watch your hand.
You just don't tell locations.
Sure enough.
Yeah, the location is Priekule parish,
Exactly.
around Priekule.
So I'm gonna try the gimbal again, which seems to be working now. So the quality should go up, guys. Yeah, it looks really good. We're back on the gimbal, and the gimbal is working. And we're on the battery pack, so hope to bring you a good live feed. That's our plan today. Are there any new people in the group digging? There was a competition winner, and that's it.
Like the council, isn't it? One working and about 10 watching.
This one is teams manager. This one is like a economical manager and stuff like that. Yeah.
I told everyone back home, I always got bigger balls than most of the guys watching.
Gary's sense of humour.
Yeah, he's in this kind of stuff.
So, as you can see, there's one soldier here with the tag.
Oh, Jason, that's top.
Anders, do you want to say something about the forest? Have you been out digging, or have you been out looking for? Wait, I'm going to bring the. Yep, we're on live.
What we're searching for.
Exactly. Yeah, we've told everybody what we're searching for. What would interest me is if you've walked around here. Have you seen any stuff lying on the surface, or is there any signs of the fighting around here?
Oh yeah, I found a big piece of panzer.
At what part?
I'm not sure. Just
So he's found a part of a tank. He's found a part of a tank.
like a 45.
Yeah, okay, so there's a lot of stuff laying around here.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But also much agricultural stuff.
Exactly, I mean, we're at the edge of some big fields, so well, you're going to get stuff that's been thrown in from the farmers too.
A lot of farming stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So, I see Roberts is moving into this bunker area. So, let me give you a slight overview of what was going on here along these fields. For those of you that just joined, we're at a location where the first Battle of Courland took place. And all along this ridge, there's a ridge out here and a big long road with long fields of green crops. And now let's see if we can get out there. It's much better if I could show you a good image. I can walk to the edge of the forest. So the Soviets were able to encircle Heeres Group Nord in Courland, which is a peninsula here in Latvia. Heeres Group Nord was a German army group that were sent north. They had besieged Leningrad in a horrific, the longest siege ever known, and had of course been beat back, and the whole way into this Baltic front. And of course the Germans didn't want to just send all their troops out of here home, so they bundled them up here in this area. They tried to hold this land in 6 major battles. So, and I can tell you now where we are, and you can sort of see the layout of the land much better now from in the forest. That's our guys from Legenda. So the 5th Guards Army, the 5th Soviet Guards Army, which seems to have a lot of Lend-Lease Sherman tanks and ammunition, because that's what we found today. Lend-Lease story is quite an interesting story. Of course, the Soviets were our allies, and we were sending them a lot of ammunition and a lot of ordnance to help them, and even tanks. And we found Sherman tracks here today and stuff like that, and ammo that was made in America, which is quite odd for the Eastern Front. You wouldn't think that was quite normal. So this 5th Guards Army were tasked with moving up along this ridge, taking a town in the background here, just over these trees. Taking that town and then pushing towards the port of Libau and Lipaia. I think it was Lipaia exactly. And wait, just trying to get through here and you can see it better. Look how wide this is. So they attacked across this plain, trying to take the port behind the Germans. And the battle lasted for around 4 days. And there was enormous losses here on both sides. Which is tragic. I mean, you've still got soldiers lying around here from that battle. And it's not even been 75 years. The temperature today is extremely hot. We're up to about 30 degrees Celsius. So that battle lasted for a total of, a grand total of 4 or 5 days here in this area. And the Germans were able to take the area back again. And that was just the first Battle of Courland. There was 6 major battles here. Until the final surrender actually happened. So what have we got here today? In the forest we've got one of our digging team members from Lithuania has just found a dog tag signal, so an aluminium signal with his metal detector. And yeah, so the guys have got a sense of humour. Yeah, for sure. We're here looking for something else, and we're finding more soldiers. So some other developments happened today. I was telling a Verpass story just about that battle we just talked about. I've got a death letter in an envelope to a woman in Germany, telling her how her husband was killed in that village in front of us. And we were sitting there taking this drone footage, and then all of a sudden a farmer pulls up and says, "Get in my garden, we've got soldiers." So we were over doing the scout today, and there's definitely stuff there. It looks promising, and we'll be back there to get those soldiers. So here's the scene of the dog tag find, which is a German soldier. Now these guys that are in the trench are in another group. These guys are in another group from Lithuania, and they've recovered many soldiers in the past. Just lately there was one reburial of around 800 Germans. So these Lithuanian guys know what they're looking for, they know what they're doing. Brian, that's really cool. Send us a message to our inbox and we'll get back to you on that one. That's great. Thank you very much. Yeah. I mean, every little helps. Of course, we're all volunteers. Nobody's making any money at this stuff. This is about giving people like this a graveyard, a gravestone. That's why we're here today. Thank you very much, Brian. So I'll pan around so you can see where we are. The forest is a silent witness to what happened in that first Battle of Courland. And of course we're here in this forest today because of a different tip-off, not because of this soldier we've just found. We've had another tip-off today too, that there's some lost quick burials that have happened here. And there's not just one or two, there should be a small gathering of those soldiers who were buried here. For whatever reason, I mean, we're right on the front line, so... I'm really sorry about this gimbal. This gimbal has a little mind of its own today. I think the weather just got to everything. I might have to take it off again. So I've reset it and it seems to work again. So if the image drops away over to the left, you know that it's just a gimbal playing around. I'm not falling all around myself. I mean, yesterday we had a really good day with this gimbal. Really good feedback from all platforms about our work here. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions about what happened here, about that Verpass story, about anything? Like you can ask anything. We'll try and answer those questions, and I'll find somebody who can answer a question if I can't. So, I mean, let's make it educational for all. Another one, so there's more than one. He's found a few soldiers likely. Just from an aluminium signal in that hole. What's been found today? Well, where I'm standing, there's at least 2 soldiers. One of our Lithuanian guys has found the position of what seems to be 2 soldiers who've just fell here, and it looks like they've been killed and died here. They've just been left nearly on the surface, you know. Time's just forgotten them. Like that battle was 75 years ago. Where am I from? I'm from Northern Ireland. I grew up in Northern Ireland. Or Ireland, whatever you want to call it. I tend to not get involved in name disputes. The human tragedy behind even Northern Ireland's another reason why I'm out here today. I mean, growing up in that place was pretty crazy. Just at the tail end of the Troubles. Hope it never goes back to something like that, I hope not. So Duxie has something here to show us.
This is German, this is Russian.
It seems to be a mix of German and Russian barbed wire, likely to stop infantry. Let's have a look.
There you go. One more.
Do we have friends from Lithuania? Yeah, we do. We've got the guys who do the official digging, and so Inga's just found something here on the surface, and we should go over and have a quick look at it. And it's likely going to be something that we'll tell the police about. The police were here already, so there's no need to worry. Yeah, exactly. This is why they were here. Look at this sort of ordnance that's laying around here. This stuff all needs cleaned up, so the EOD will be here, the Latvian EOD, to get rid of all this.
I just turned around to pick my metal detector,
Mhm.
and it fell, and next to it was this one.
Next, just
behind
laying here. Okay, that's
where we
crazy.
were working.
So it's been put now here for the EOD. And I'm not even going to get into what's in that hole, what sort of stuff, but it's dangerous, and it's not good for the environment, and it's going to go in the right direction from the right people. So that's everything we need to know about it, really.
Maybe there is other guy.
Yeah, there's another one. There is for sure another guy. There's another soldier in here, and we haven't worked out his identity yet, but we'll go in here. I'm sort of struggling with the gimbal today. It's got a mind of its own. How safe is it? I mean, that is up to the person who is prepared to move it, and they need to make a judgment call on what they're doing, and taking into consideration the safety of the group. I mean, that's why we can't have anyone just turning up here. This isn't like a tourist trail, or we're in forests that take hours of research to even find and get to, on the edges of Europe. So we've been all sort of vetted, and we know what we're looking at, and everything's done carefully. There's plenty of eyes. If somebody knew what something was, they would say it right away. And many of the different members of the group have their own specialities, whether that be munitions or from their military experience, or however they found it out. I myself have a particular interest in World War II stories, regardless of what side. I mean, I'm not just interested in German stories, or in Latvian stories, or in any other European country stories. What happened was a tragedy. It's not even 75 years ago, and we're fighting people still on the surface. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, the police have been here. It's been assessed by professionals. I mean, Tallis is not shocked by anything, because he's found it all before. He knows all these, like, at least 20, 30 years of experience in this. So there's a lot of knowledge here among all these men. They've all brought something to the table. They've got their own skills. They come from all walks of life and from everywhere in the world. Exactly. Every soldier deserves to be reburied. Malcolm. And just to remind you, on the link of this, I've got the GoFundMe. Now, I've noticed today it's went up a little, and it could definitely go up a little more than that. So if you want to donate, that would be really great, and it doesn't matter how much, but you could even write it here on the live feed, and I'll thank you personally. So go over to the GoFundMe from our member Matthew McDermott, and you can make a donation there, pretty handy. And that money would go towards diesel, time for Tallis to go and find these locations, to do all the necessary back work. So that would be really good. And if you've got anything, even from €1 or something, just go out there and have a look at our GoFundMe, and then post it here how much you've donated, or even if you just say donated, you can do it anonymously. But of course these soldiers are just lying practically on the surface. They're not very deep. Maybe 75 years worth of growth on top of them, of this heavy, dense forest growth. And Victor Dukes is one of the co-founders of this NGO. This guy here with the green t-shirt and the green scarf, wearing the hat. And that's over 20 years ago. This NGO is nearly 20 years old. I think Friday it's 20 years old. These guys have given a large section of their life and time and money for this good cause. Enormous respect. Yeah, exactly, Paul. I mean, this stuff needs to be cleaned up. That's why the police were called. You can't have civilians rolling up here and taking something like that home and thinking it's safe or do something stupid with it. That stuff shouldn't be at anybody's house. So it's good the police were called. It'll be taken into a safe area and disposed of accordingly by professionals who, believe it or not, keep in mind about the environmental damage it causes. Some of that stuff inside it, it's nasty chemicals and stuff that's really bad for the earth and bad for these forests. So having them out of these forests is great. Do we find more Russian or Germans? A good mixture of both. I mean, I haven't come to one of these summer expeditions and I've not found one from both in both world wars, so we're busy out here. There's still a lot more soldiers to be recovered. The mission's far from over, especially when you've seen here how one of our Lithuanian members just picked up a signal and found at least two soldiers now, which seem to be Germans from an infantry unit. Well, I've got all sorts walking over me. What's the name of the Lithuanian group? I can ask them later. Sadly, those two guys don't speak English, so I would need a translator for that to answer that question. But it's a good question. I'm going to visit them too. That would be a plan. As for how many are missing, I mean, I'm not too sure if I would go on statistics on something like this. And we know roughly how many soldiers were here and whatnot, but I mean, it's really down to doing all this footwork and filling up those military cemeteries. And these guys shouldn't be lying here in people's houses and gardens and small forests, because that's just a tragic thing to do, to leave them here and maybe even risk getting found by a black digger and his identity stolen, and that would be for Legenda a horrible feat of events. That's why we're out here, trying to find them as quick as possible. Do you know what the name of the Lithuanian group is? These guys group? This group?
Yes, Legenda too.
It's also called
Yeah.
Legenda. Okay, good. So I hope that answers the question. Yeah, easy one that.
Oh, it's a Legenda, like you.
Yeah.
Like other international guys.
Yeah. Is black digging a big problem here? Is black digging a big problem out here? I'm standing
Yes or
beside
no?
Victor Dukes. He's one of the founders here, so
Yeah,
Yes.
yes and no.
yes and no. And why yes?
Oh, you need to ask this question, Andres.
Yeah, to Andres. But I'm pretty sure it's because of you don't want the identity stolen.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's for Legenda very important. And you can see they're checking here the damage that was on that man. And one of our members here's is a nurse, so she knows what she's doing. Thank you very much. Should we go to the digger?
Mm-hmm.
Should we have a look over at the digger? Should we have a look?
No.
There's nothing? Still searching?
Nothing.
Okay, they're just searching with a digger in the background, so I wanted to go there if something was interesting. And they're just searching. Thank you very much, Jan. Yeah, it's too warm though. The weather's good, but it's way too warm. And the insects are intense here. So these two soldiers at least were found here today by Legenda members after falling here in battle almost 75 years ago. If there's any other questions, just ask them. I mean, I've got time now to answer such things. I'll just go for a little walk around, see what's laying around. Sometimes in the forest there's anyway, stuff laying around. Here we go. There's something. Didn't take a long time, did it? No, I don't know what this is, but I'll walk over to it, and if I need to tell the boss about it, I will. But I don't. It's some piece of iron, but you can see that it's battle damaged. It's not anything dangerous or that should be reported. But still signs of the battle that rolled over this hill. And this is the place we've put the live ordnance for the Latvian EOD. Yeah. Okay, so there's been a bit of a development here. I need to walk to the digger because it looks like what we're actually out here searching for, we've just found. So this is an interesting time here. So let's go over and have a look what they found. Right by the road.
If it's correct.
Okay.
I'm giving this.
I'm just grabbing my bag here at the other position, and I'll make my way towards the. I'll make my way towards where they've just found the other soldiers.
Robert Zach digging
Good.
nach Haus. Auf Wiedersehen. Robert neues Heraus.
Ah.
Robert Zach digging im Haus.
Yeah.
Cars. 5 meters.
Okay, so Talis has just said they've found the soldiers about 5 meters away from the cars whenever one of the guys had to go, and it was just by spontaneous a spontaneous signal likely. So I'm going to go over there. We've got the gimbal on the go. And what soldiers are we expecting to find around here? Well, you know, you had infantry units, and as far as I remember, it's the 215th infantry division here, and they had many grenadier regiments, one of which was Grenadier Regiment 424. That's why I was here today, to shoot with a drone a story, and of a guy who was killed here just on these hills. So let's go over. Now you can see we're right beside the car where the tractor is. It looks like we've located what seems to be a small field cemetery. They weren't meant to stay here, but had to be buried on the front line, likely on a small place where they could. This is a big development here. You could be talking 40, 50 soldiers going to be identified today, not missing. So let's have a look. Guys, it would be great if you'd share it. Maybe we could get this feed up over 65, and this is history unfolding. So out in the open now, no shade. 30 degrees on the side of a dusty road. So let's get a closer look. I'm going to drop off some kit, and from there I'll leave my kit in here in the shade. Yes, let's explain to everybody how this was found right now. So it's pretty important. I just want to take my bag off. It's very warm. So Robert's is going to explain how this place was found right now. As you can see, look what's laying around here. Junk of war everywhere, in all sizes and forms. Come into the shade. The gimbal's too. The gimbal doesn't like the sun. So here's fine. Here's fine. Yeah, it overheats. So let's hear it.
The situation was something similar to the situation before 2 years. There were also information about 5 soldiers buried near the old house. There wasn't any house remains or stuff like that, just a complete field. And we went there, this big tractor, JCB, and we started to search in the wrong place. And one of our friends said they were going to be against these trees. There was just one oak tree, but in this case there was a few big trees, and in the middle there was a road. And as I thought, Germans, why would they go to near the forest and doing that stuff there?
Yeah.
Another side of the road.
So it's just again a spontaneous find.
Yeah.
And did you find it? Who found it? Who said it?
I said it.
There you are. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, exactly. So this is what experience does. What have we all found? Lots of stuff. I'll get over that in a second. I'll go over everything that we just found. In the meantime, I'd like to put on a small belt, because if I have to clean anything on camera, I want to give you guys a more professional look at it. Robs, put that around me. Put that on me.
Just don't. It's small bags in the walls.
Yeah, clip it on. Put it around me and just clip it on. Yeah. Some of the guys think it's funny, these live streams. They don't get the point of it, but they agree it needs done. It needs done. So now we're moving in.
Andra!
Here we go, a piece of a tag. A piece of a tag already. Somebody's identity.
The condition is very similar to Volkov. It would be hard to read, but we'll do it.
You're going to go and try and read it.
Yeah, I'll put it here.
So this talus. Guys, share this stuff. Let's get it out now. We've just found on this day in what seems to be an incredible find of lost men.
As I was saying to those of you just signing on, we've already found one soldier over in the forest. He's looking for
Yeah, exactly. Just to recap over, one of our guys has already found at least one soldier in there. It looks like two.
one here, so digger driver who we've hired is going to open the trench up a bit more. Where there's one, there should be more. So our main concern is trying to locate these soldiers and get them out.
So Talis is just watching here. Maybe something will pop up or pop out. We already got a part of a dog tag, so known in German as Erkennungsmarke, your known mark. So if you were, looks like a makeshift grave. Yeah, it looks like a small field cemetery that they've abandoned here. I mean, it's a field and a farmer's field. That's what it is, essentially.
Yes.
So Andres is having a look at the tag over here. I'll scan over and see what Andres has to say about the tag. What's up with the tag?
It's very bad.
Very bad condition.
Unreadable. Vika, tā ir busā zaļās kastes, uz kurām stāv sēdeklis. Tur jābūt galodai vienā no kastēm. Tas ir akmens, ar ko asina nēdus.
So Talis is in the trench and Andres is working. It could possibly lead to somebody being named, so it's quite important work. Takes a bit of concentration and a bit of experience.
Here? No. Wooden? Go.
So they're gonna hit it with water. Is it zinc?
Zinc, yeah. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it's a zinc tag, which don't last very long.
R letter, it seems.
R.
No, wooden.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's writing there for sure.
No, it's really hard.
The sailor man.
Hard to read. So, thank you, Michael. It would be great if you would share that, or
Johnny,
just keep us posted what you think. I like your feedback. That's very nice. Thank you.
let's maybe give your little brush to Andres.
What's that? Yeah, for sure. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
You do that. I've got a little pouch on my bag that's for the finer stuff. So, do we find many bottles with identification inside? Yeah, it's happened here often before. So we've obviously got remains already. We've already found one. And we've just parked here, which is really strange. I mean, we've went from here into this forest looking for this position, which we've just parked right beside. And out of chance it's been found by someone close to the vehicle before they were leaving. Absolute miracle that even these people are coming out like this. So let's try the gimbal again. The gimbal was overheating.
Boys from Denmark.
So around here, end of October, early November was the first Battle of Courland. The 5th Guards Army attacked across this ridge, taking the towns around here. So we got to see something. We've been told to go and have a look at the...
If you get this smell from the same smell from anything you buy on internet, that comes from dead people, and you cannot get rid of that smell.
Yeah, so
It's around, so it's
you can find out who's the black diggers pretty quickly.
Yeah. You get it in a helmet, from a dog tag, especially the clean artillery regiment.
An artillery regiment.
Yeah.
But from
And
what we
main
don't know.
number. Main number is no.
Yeah, no stam roll number, no main number. Sadly. Good care will be taken.
The main number should be there.
And of course, you've already found someone here. This is this tag holder. So he was an artilleryman, a German artilleryman. So it looks like the gimbal's finding it pretty hard with the heat. Yep, as you can see, the gimbal doesn't like the sunlight. Sorry about this, guys. It's incredibly annoying. But the heat's just too much. Of course, the quality is much better with a gimbal, but I'll give the gimbal a bit of a rest. Okay, the picture's not bad, but yeah, the gimbal helps the image, though it helps stabilize everything. Much nicer for the eye.
Another big thing comes during the party. The beasts from the north. Bloody Norseman.
So, you've waited for the right moment. Sorry. There's definitely bunkers around here. You just need to walk a lot. Exactly, October, the end of October. And how I know that, Dennis, in this area, I have actually a wear pass in the car, and the guy was killed here on the 30th. So they were fighting here much harder than just reported on one side. The German documents that were sent here, I've got them in the car. And it definitely dragged into early November, because of course there was a massive counter-attack, pushed all the guards regiments right over that hill again. We stay on location, which is in this case just around the corner. We've got local accommodation booked. Yeah. Maybe likely Gary or something can help me with something. I could show this Verpass story. If we find any remains, we've already found a few soldiers and their and their tags and everything. So you've been a bit late on the comment. We've found quite a lot already today, and especially information. And here we think we've found a field cemetery. All these remains are buried in a military cemetery. So, yeah, in the woods. Yeah, I should go to the woods because there's 2 soldiers in there that they've just found with their dog tags. But here we've also found the tag and more soldiers. So I'll probably go into the forest again. Yes, of course. All these piles are gone through with a metal detector for small signals. Of course, this isn't our tractor, we rent this one with the driver. Little digger's great. Makes our work much handier. Yeah, but they were here the whole time. He was just killed around that time. So let's go and have a look at that paperwork quickly. Inga, you want to help me to do something?
What we are doing?
I'm going to take this off. We're live now. I'm going to take this off and you're going to hold the camera.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to my bag and get that Verpass, and we can sit in the shade and talk about that Verpass story.
Okay.
Because at the minute, we've already been in the forest and it's slow, and
Yeah.
and here's going to be much more interesting whenever we get it opened up. So
So I'll just hold and film this when you come back?
or come over to the shadow.
Yeah.
Because everything's too warm. The gimbals give up already.
Oh, okay.
2 time periods, yeah. And that's another one. There's 2 time periods here. 2 battles in the one place. And the second. Oh, okay. So there's 2 frontline positions that have moved along here. But we should show that story. Because there's people writing about what battle, who's died, and da-da-da-da. Like Talis has just said, there's this road over here over 2 battles.
Yeah.
First and second, so. A big stone. So I'm going to take this off the gimbal then, huh? Yep.
Yeah, we're going to follow Johnny, find his verpass. You can tell his story.
I'm going to show the story, right?
Yeah.
I'll take this hat off me and then the shade at last.
Oh, yeah, it was great coming into the shade.
I don't touch any of these documents without any hand shoes on.
Dr. Johnny.
So, on here, I guess we take this hat outside now. So what have we got? A ladder. It's a field post ladder. It's sent only for service reasons, and it's even has to be signed for. So let's open it up and see what we got in here. Now, I know because I've done some research already. Of course, this is just a standard pass. It's not anything that's extremely rare, but the story in behind it's really rare. So, for instance, here we have the letter that was sent to his wife whenever he was killed out here on these fields. As you see. I'm going to wrap it away quickly, and I'll put it away really quickly because I don't want to damage it, and the wind's bad here. So
Yeah, it can rip that paper quick.
fragile, exactly, and I want to preserve this. But let's have a look at this guy. Who was this guy? Look at him. Have a look at these documents. Born in 1912, married. Let's see who he served with. You can skim through it. So he was conscripted early 1940, and had served the whole way up with Heeresgruppe Nord. He was a part of the 126th Infantry Division here, and then sent to Grenadier Regiment 424, which were fighting actually here in this village in the distance, where you can see a bit of the smoke rising up from the roads. And if I scan through here, you can see what weapons he was trained on, and other items such as he was trained as a Panzergrenadier anti-tank operator. He'd won the Eastern Front medal. And we'll skim through here. This is his battle calendar.
This is really interesting piece of history.
Exactly, it's a overlooked piece of history too. A lot of this stuff's completely overlooked.
Yeah.
Which is a tragedy because it's these men's life stories. And of course today a lot of people don't know how to read these or understand them, but if you need a bit of help, I mean, contact Legenda with any research stuff if you need a bit of help with research.
Yeah.
We can see here that he was in the swamps with Heeresgruppe Nord right up to Leningrad, and where there was that horrible siege, which was the longest siege in history. And of course their military group was smashed right back in here into the peninsula by October, the 29th of October 44. They were here as part of Heeres Group of Nord, which were encircled in Courland, and here we can see it says died for Germany with Grenadier 14th Company Grenadier Regiment 424 in Latvia. And here's the name of the town in front of us. I mean, so could you imagine that lady getting that letter, skimming through his personal documents that was taken off his body, and
It must have been terrible.
must have been a horrible experience. So I'll explain to you what happened on the 23rd here in this area, the 23rd of the 10th, 1944. It seems that the Russian and Soviet units were fighting along here to try and take a port behind the Germans. But what actually had happened on these hills with this man here, whose story we're still talking about. The letter translated: during these events of heavy combat, your man behind his Panzerschreck, which was the anti-tank launcher, was hit in the head with a grenade splinter. He was mortally wounded. His comrade next to him jumped to him immediately and could sadly see that he was dead. He died without feeling any pain.
Somebody is asking about his name again.
His name is Eugen Russ. But I mean, that's not going to bring anybody any more. But that was his name. His name is Eugen. First name. Young German guy. So the 5th Guards Army were actually tasked with attacking across here to try and get to the port of Liepāja. And this is an extract from the German Kriegstagebericht, the German daily reports.
Is this on the Legenda or your own?
This is Legenda.
Okay.
So I'll skim on through. As you can see, that 5th Guards Army did not succeed, and they were pushed back here by the end of October. They had to retreat back to their own lines here, 5th Guards Army headquarters. And as you can see, in this area operating were other units, not only normal Wehrmacht units, but as you can see along here, flak units, normal German infantry units. Here you've got an interesting one, which is a Waffen-SS unit from the Netherlands, and just above them Nordland, with all different recruits from the upper states of the European Union today. So this was very much a European battle. It wasn't just Germans and Russians, as most people would understand it. So I've found out some more information about where Eugen is today. The actual Volksbund came here in the 90s and found him and took him out of here and buried him in Saldus. So he's been repatriated already by Volksbund teams that were operating in this area before Legenda had started to operate in this area. But the work's far from over. As you can see, we've found a lot more behind us today. So I'm going to wrap that away, and I hope that was an interesting story. That was why I was out here today, to tell the story too. So an interesting piece of German history, you could say. One could learn a lot from it.
Yeah. Those soul books are full of interesting information.
Yeah, it's too interesting to overlook. I mean, you've got people today who I've even experienced, who work in museums and they don't know what they are.
Yeah.
And it's a great tragedy.
Yeah,
Just
it
because
is.
the Allies didn't have them doesn't mean the Germans didn't have them. And the German story is just as interesting because they lost and they'd fought hard for that horrible regime who sent them out here to die, essentially, and these guys had no chance. The war was over by then. Why were they here? They should have been evacuated and surrendered properly. And he would have still been alive today. He's just a normal guy.
Yeah.
Interestingly, this guy was a trained shoemaker.
Oh.
He was a trained shoemaker, yeah. So he had a civilian life before the Third Reich had rolled into his life and conscripted him into an army and sent him to fight in battles. It's an interesting story
Yeah.
about the area here.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for sharing it.
No problem.
I hope the viewers likes it too.
Yeah, give us some feedback on that. Did you like that? Did you enjoy looking at original documents about the area that we're in? And if you do, I'll probably do that more often because it's sort of it's looking at it at a more personal and human level, and I think that's what needs to be done more often.
Yeah.
It's easy to sit and read books about generals and dictators and mass murderers, but behind all this is just normal people like you or I.
Yeah.
And it needs to be told. The story needs to be told.
Yeah.
Soon we've lost everybody who witnessed it. I mean, this week we've got June 75, 75th anniversary of the Normandy invasion.
Yeah.
75 years ago, the war was raging here in the east, in the Eastern Front. And there's a lot we can learn from out here.
Yeah.
As we look for all these guys still who are still missing.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I hope somebody could give us some feedback on that. That would
Yeah,
be
we
really
have
nice.
a few comments already here.
Okay.
They are brilliant details, impressed, great story.
Okay.
And Chris, yeah, those documents are in a really nice condition.
Yeah.
They haven't been worn much.
No, I don't touch them without gloves, and this normally doesn't leave an archive.
No.
So it's just returned here 75 years later. It was here before. Around 75 years later. But still interesting. Still
Yeah.
super interesting. Shows that human side of the story that's often forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah.
Shall we move over and see what the guys have found?
Yep, we do that. I'm sorry for the shaky video, but the gimbal is a bit out
Too
of...
hot, yeah, it's too hot for the gimbal.
Yeah. But we'll walk over to see what they're digging, if they find something more.
Yeah, walk over. I'm going to grab a drink of water quickly, and then I can take it off you again.
Yeah, I'll
We
go...
can actually show the stuff that's lying here. even
yeah,
now.
I can do that when you drink water.
That sounds cool, because that's interesting stuff laying around.
Yeah, we'll start with some standard relics we find on the battlefields. Here's some mortar tail fins, probably Russian. And this, some kind of, I don't know, medicine maybe, tablets. Sorry for the video there. Signal flare, German one. Shrapnel, lots of shrapnel. Here's a little bit bigger shrapnel piece. And the lid of a mess kit. It's a bit broken. And the nice one here is a S-mine, which have blown up somehow. And I don't know if we can see it, but still detonators inside it, so it will be probably given to the EOD when they are coming. And here's Johnny back. Oh yeah.
A lot of comments asking us about permissions and stuff, and if you just quickly scroll over that folder, Alice has plenty of permissions.
Yeah, here's all our permissions.
You're going to have to get rid of those stuff coming out now.
What?
That's a ring that's just come out.
The rings just come out of this pit over here.
Panzer
Let's have a look. Let's get closer.
You wanna grab it? I'm a bit shaky here. I need water.
I'll just do let everyone know, like, so the trench has just been opened up. We're trying to read the dog tag of one of the guys, and we think it's a Panzer artillery regiment guy.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get over there and have a look what's going on.
Let's have a look. Yeah.
Right.
As far as I know, Dwayne, we haven't found any helmets today. There are a lot of guys out in the forest searching with their detectors, so we'll just see. Maybe something interesting will turn up. But we are here mainly to find the soldiers that are lost.
Not like it's hot, but it's hot. Right?
What?
It's not like it's hot, but it's hot.
Yeah, it's pretty warm.
How many soldiers?
I don't know. They are getting down to the layers where they might
Going
dig,
like
but
that?
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
There's one there already. You also need one? Yeah.
That's mine. Yeah. Okay. So the ring comes from this guy. Yeah.
Chris, we are at the same site as we have been the whole day. Some guys are in the forest and some are here out in the field, in boiling heat.
Yeah, we've moved on. Have you explained that?
We moved on. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you were
we-
filming in another.
We were in another location. We had a farmer,
right.
a farmer show us where somebody's buried in his garden.
All right. yes.
Another one. That's another one today.
Yeah. But still, it's sort of the same location.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same battles. That's for sure.
Yeah, we haven't been driving anywhere else. Guys coming out of the forest with some heavy backpacks. That's he always look for panzer parts.
Yeah, he's been walking a lot.
Yeah. I can understand the gimbal, how it helps.
Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah.
The gimbal is much better. We could maybe try it again. It's probably cooled down. It'll work for like 10-20 minutes and then fall.
Here is Carlos asking, did you guys find the soldier in the...
In the garden and by the farmer. We started to, and then the guys started finding stuff up here, so we've told the farmer we'll be back.
Yeah.
We need to stay on mission number 1. That's something that just happened really randomly.
Yeah.
We were standing on the street and he drove up to us and was just like, get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, around the corner from here. Another one of those farmers on the lowlands.
Nice. But you or Gary need to take it off me a bit. I
Yeah,
need
sure.
to drink.
Yeah. I'm going to try and get it back over to the gimbal.
Yeah.
And come from this side.
You want to carry on your Facebook, Johnny?
Right.
Sorry.
No,
Oh fuck, I think we
oh, no. Exactly.
have to do it.
Yeah, that's fine. There we go. So we got it in. Mission successful. Not easy. It's too warm here.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's very hard to even see. Thank you. So that was Inga.
It's difficult to see the screen. Good.
Yeah, I've turned the brightness down. I mean, this temperature, everything's struggling.
Yeah.
So, exactly, we're back on the gimbal again. Not too sure how long it's going to last, but we can do a little overview. As you can see, we got the tractor here, and looks like we've found multiple soldiers. I'm sorry for that quality today. I mean, it's not like it was yesterday. Hopefully the weather eases off a bit and lets this stuff cool down. Like, we've literally stepped out of the vehicles, and this is
Sherman thing.
there's pieces of tanks lying around here everywhere. As you can see, they're trailing the big heavy bits out of the way because we've got permission to dig here today, and everything that's metal and not meant to be in the nature needs to leave here. And it's just polluting everything. Of course, we know what sort of tanks we're moving around here because we'd found some ammunition already. Ammunition seems to be from Lend-Lease origin, so made in the US, and made it in the Arctic convoys over to the Soviet troops who are our allies then. And we had a common story and agreements together. So the mission now will be to expose these as much as possible and to check for identity discs, because that's the only interesting thing that we can really find here for identification purposes, or a bottle. That would be also interesting if there was a letter in the bottle. All missing soldiers. As you can see, this signal here belongs to one soldier already. It seems to be what looks like, yeah, it's a bullet and a ring. Could have been the bullet that fatally wounded that man. That's where we often find stuff like that. So this has been quite an amazing find here today, just where we parked. The date we don't know. Tallis has explained that there was two main lines that roofed across here, and I spoke about one of them today, about that 5th Guards Army attack. So there was another attack here too, so, but roughly end of 1944. First, second battles in this area.
Johnny?
Yeah.
How do they call the guy who is directing the orchestra?
A conductor, yeah.
He's a conductor at the moment. We call those guys conductors.
Yeah, he's a conductor.
Because he's directing
The digger driver.
digger.
So you can see pieces of uniforms and whatnot coming up already. Of course, we'll go over all this stuff now with the...
Yes.
it's not easy here. No.
No. You put, yeah. Yeah.
So here Einer's going to check everywhere here, just in case something small was missed. It's very important we to get everything here. overcap. We're following a lead here, and we were actually parking here and walking over there looking for the lead when somebody, just before they left, was about to get into their vehicle and found the actual objective here, which was this small cemetery, what it looks like to be a cemetery, a small field cemetery that was on the front line. And of course these guys are in someone's field, so you can see the point of this work. These guys need to be put into military cemeteries, properly identified with their dog tags, and reburied where in some cases their loved ones can even have some closure on this topic. Yeah, the relics is going to say everything too. The stuff that the soldiers that we find will explain the story pretty well today. Yeah. So, do you want to explain the story?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
We found.
So wait a second. This is Inca, first of all, for those of you that's just joined us.
Yeah.
Inca had the camera a minute ago. Yeah, he's a Norwegian guy.
Yeah. 1 year ago.
So
Almost exactly. I got a phone call from a Norwegian.
Yeah, Talis knows how to make a bit of fun.
Our boss, yeah. A Norwegian researcher who writes about Norwegian Waffen-SS Soliders. And he had been in archives in Germany and for his job. And found photos and maps and descriptions of lost graves and soldiers connecting to his research. And he had also heard about us, so that's why he called me and said he had a lot of maps. So I provided them to Talis, and he had been doing his research during the winter time, the off-season. And today we went here to find a cemetery, which has been lost since 44, 45. It's supposedly to be a SS cemetery.
So a Waffen-SS cemetery, so frontline soldiers who were fighting in this area.
Yeah, and we don't know how big it is or how many soldiers this is. From the map we have, it is marked up that this is 2 rows of soldiers, but as it's no dates on the map, it can have been added to that later.
So you're just telling me too, just to recap a bit, that there could be Norwegians here, or?
Yeah, they can be Scandinavians,
German. Yeah.
Oh yeah, boys have fun.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's why we're here. They are local to the graves.
Yeah, they've got fireworks to scare us. Yeah, for sure.
So now we are just going to jump in and find the soldiers.
And where did all these Scandinavians fight? I mean, like, they were recruited in Scandinavia, and then under what promise, or why did they end up in the Waffen-SS? I know a lot of people are going to ask, like, where's the link there?
They were promised, of course. You have all the politics before the war about Bolshevism and all this, and the sides were kind of split in Europe. And the Germans wanted to have as many soldiers as possible in Waffen-SS, and then especially from the occupied Scandinavian countries. And they were promised to be like the core of the new free Norwegian army after Hitler had won the war.
So they were promised
They were also promised to fight in Finland.
Okay.
They were kind of hijacked and sent to Leningrad, the first batches of Norwegian soldiers.
So they were just fighting on the front mainly
Yeah,
against Soviet units.
Yeah, they were.
Under German command.
Yeah.
So that's the news out, so share it, whatever it takes.
How are you, buddy?
This is probably the first time in Europe something like this has been live streamed. So documentation seems to have shown now that this could be even a Waffen-SS cemetery, and we've got people here from all over the world, from all walks of life, to clean this historical topic up and put it where it belongs, which is in military cemeteries, not left out here on farmers' fields or in swamps. So that's quite an impressive thing to share. Share that around, and things are going to get much more interesting here today. Now, if there's some interesting stuff coming up along with these guys that could identify them, we'll be showing that live here on our work. Exactly, Gerald, but a lot of people don't understand that who watch this, so it's important that the Waffen-SS topic is understood in context. If you take it out of context, it can be quite confusing, and you could make comments that were completely uneducated. So but a lot of people don't know that. Yeah, they were enlisted with the fear of communism going to ravage through Europe, which was of course all propaganda and all a terrible thing of events. So we got some just got a lot of new people who have arrived here. Yeah, exactly. You've got a lot of European nations took part in these fights. Like I showed you on the map earlier, you could see that there was a Netherlands, Nordland, a few other units to use to counter-attack here and push these elite Soviet forces back off the hills too. Are they buried in coffins? No, they're not. They've been thrown into these little holes. So guys, it would be great if you shared all this. Let's get the word out, what we've just found, what we've been led on to. Yeah. Aufklärungs. Okay, or something like this. So it could be from Nordland. Yeah. Andres, 11 is Nordland, huh? 11 is Nordland. Yeah, well, there was definitely a 1 at the end of that tag, so it would make sense. Yeah, attached to Nordland.
And I would say that it is SS Panzer Artillery Regiment 11, because there is no Panzer Artillery Regiment 11 in Weimar.
Exactly, this is a SS unit.
Would be here, so I think this is Nordland guy. Plus, it is on zinc, which is usual for SS dog tags. SS dog tags are usually on zinc.
So we're trying to do some research here as we're sitting here. But it's most likely that Nordland Division, which was on that map actually that it showed earlier under the tree, of what was going on here. So we got some Nordland guys. I don't know if anybody's keeping those sort of statistics. I mean, we take one soldier at a time here, and very rarely are they all the same. Under the arm. The SS, Waffen-SS, of course, had a lot of their blood groups tattooed to the inside of their arm rather than on their dog tags. I'll have a look at this and see what it is. What do we have here? Can you set it up here, Michael, and I'll have a look at it? Just set it here and I'll have a good look at it. And I'll do it on camera. So put it here on this piece of dirt. And what have we got here? I'm going to put on a plastic glove, guys. Give me a second. Anton, can you hold this 1 second? Hold this camera with the gimbal. Hold this part.
This part.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to put on this glove and have a look at what was coming out of here. Set it up here, Michael. I'll have a good look at it all. Just in case it can be used for ID purposes here. We should take some care in what we're doing. So what have we got here?
Because these are legs too.
So this looks like a coin, and this is pieces of uniform. It's just a coin, it's a zinc coin. So I'm going to put it back in again. It wasn't anything of major interest. It looks like a coin. Looks like a coin that was on him. Thank you, Anton. And you can see this is a coin that was in his uniform. This is part of his uniform. Coin. Michael, you want to put it in the box? Yeah. So I have to move because we're going to open this side up. Oh, sorry. Everything's too hot today. You can see even got the back of this opened up. Just to recap it, according to research that's been conducted here and in the past, it looks like we've unearthed the Waffen-SS cemetery, especially for those guys who were killed here on these positions that used to be here. So this is an extremely interesting live dig on Facebook of something that's never really happened before. And it would be great if you shared it. I mean, we were down to 67 live followers, so guys, it would be great if you shared it, told your mates or tagged your friends or whatever. This is public. So we're not hiding anything. We have all our permissions here to do this today. So there's no fear in that. I mean, what you're sharing is the work of an NGO.
Yeah.
So. A what?
Trousers.
Pieces of trousers. Let's have a look. Can I have a look at it?
Yeah, not really leather.
Yeah, it's not leather. It's some sort of maybe gas protection material. Rubberized material. And I'll just check inside it in case he put something inside it, which he didn't. Yeah, this is just... I'll put it in his box, which seems to be a lot more of it. It seems that one of the tags we've got already is from a Nordland related unit.
I think this is a rubber boat.
Maybe rubber, but there's more of it here, huh?
Okay.
It could be a cover for something too. It could be maybe a cover for something.
Okay.
Let's have a closer look at it. Yeah, exactly. Clean around it first. Thank you very much, Michael. Thanks for sharing the word. Found him.
It's amazing.
It is amazing, yeah. So for those of you who just joined the scene, it's jumped up now at least 20 people. With Inka here. Inka, could you explain what we just opened up?
Yeah, we hope that it is what we think it is, which should be a SS cemetery.
So a Waffen-SS fighting unit, a front unit of the SS, yeah.
Yeah. And we have no idea how many soldiers could be in here, but
This-
it would then be mixed units from the Waffen-SS that fought around the Courland.
Around this area.
Yeah.
Of course, we're not going to give the location away because we have the permits and stuff today to do this, so
Yeah.
we don't want any black diggers rolling up here and thinking it's a free-for-all, because that's not what Legenda is about. And we want these soldiers to be reburied properly with their name on a gravestone. I mean, that's the least we can do. Not laying here in some farmer's field. Peter, do you want to tell us what you're on to?
Yeah.
Can you speak a bit louder?
Yes, we think there's a body under there. Under
Uh-huh.
the shovel.
Uh-huh.
Then now we further going to expose it.
Uh-huh.
That's the plan, and the crane is making
The hole's bigger.
bigger because probably it goes much more in that direction.
Yeah. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Gerald. So yeah, maybe I should start a part 2, take a little bit of a break, and start a part 2 in which I will title it properly, because people should know what we've just found today, what we've just came along and found. And in this forest too, while we were looking for this location, soldiers have been found where they fell in that forest. Yeah, rubbish, some wire, and don't really want to know how it was, how it got there. Thank you, Nick. I mean, yesterday, let's put it into perspective here. Most people have a TV. Most people are sitting watching this sort of stuff whenever it hits the news for 20 seconds. They don't sit and follow it live. And yesterday we had the Latvian TV rock up. Just a bit too late, just a tad too late. So, how much of a problem, there's a question here from Jeff Holden, how much of a problem is it that people would loot graves like this? This is a huge problem. This is a huge problem, because in the black market all this stuff stolen off soldiers could be sold online, and that's not what it's about. Anything found on any of these soldiers is buried with these soldiers. It goes into these plastic bags, into these proper sarks, into the personal bags. Kieran, I can't answer that question because there's 2 main battle lines that passed along here. How many casualties? It's for sure in the thousands. I mean, this was hell on earth, end of 44. This is conditions today are really warm. The guys are taking turns here. Let's go a wee bit closer and see what's coming up.
We lost soldiers.
Seems that he doesn't go any further than there. It could be that when he was put in this hole, he wasn't all there. I think it's a gas cape, rubberized gas cape. Yeah, they had in such a little pouch bag a gas cape. So it's rubberized, huh? Rubberized boot. You were right. Rubberized boot. These are very odd. These are made of a protection material. It doesn't seem that there's a body there. There seems to be a lot of protective gear and some maybe some small bones, but yeah, some small bones.
British? British?
Yeah.
British. Let's have a look at it. Put it here on the floor. Put it here. Let's have a look. Put it here. No. On the ground. It's a British-made ordnance. that ended up here in Courland. Totalis has already called the police. Yeah, it's a mortar. Exactly, it's a mortar round. Yeah.
It's not what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, there's one of Legenda's big missions is to fight that black digging, because it's just robbing these victims of war of their identity, and that's not on our watch. These guys need to be repatriated in proper cemeteries with respect, and every victim of a war deserves respect regardless. They should be buried properly and not lying on farmers' fields, and anybody that thinks otherwise should get themselves re-examined. So we've just acquired a map, and we've been following that research through Inca, one of our members here. Exactly, Nederland, Langemar, 44. That's exactly it, Richard. So it's likely we've just stumbled along one of their field cemeteries here on the front line.
Well, any luck for you there?
Which is incredible, because there's people from all over the world here. There's even Dutch people here who are part of this group. I'm going to go around here because it looks like there's more interesting things to show the live stream. And George. So guys, share it, whatever you need to do to get the word out, what's been found here in Latvia today. Let's get a look.
Johan! Put somewhere away so it will not be moved. No. Better not, because a lot of people walking around. Yeah, people, because it's full of soldiers.
Yeah, you need to put it in the bag at the end, huh? Put it in the bag at the end.
I'll get you a bag.
The problem is with putting small items like that into these boxes is that they can be knocked over, and we ended up losing everything again. So if any small items come up, they need to be put into the bag at the right time. What have we got there, Anders? Anders? What is it? So I'll go over and have a look here. What have we got? So I'm going to get in here and let's have a look what's going on. It hasn't been cleaned yet perfectly, so I can stand between the both of them. Yeah, there's Nordland was in this area. What have we got here, Anders? Do you want me to open this? Okay. Can you set it up here and I'll open it on camera? Okay, so we've got a helmet in here too, and pieces of his uniform. Set it here. Anders, set it here. And I'll open it really slowly and let's have a look, see if there's any identification stuff in here. So this is pieces of his uniform. This guy's likely an Waffen-SS soldier. And we don't seem to have anything in there, sadly, for identification purposes. I mean, we could honestly find anything in here, so it all needs to be checked thoroughly. So Anders, there's nothing in that uniform? Not yet anyway, not anything of interest. Yeah, put it in the tray. I've left everything here. So of course we're looking for the tags now too, as you can see. We've got the little personal effects bags. And they go on the bodies afterwards. The Anders here has has a helmet, which looks to be still on the soldier's head. So this is extremely interesting. These soldiers that we've just found. And of course, a lot of people who've just tuned in will probably ask, you know, why are all these guys seem to be SS or seem to be Waffen-SS? These guys that came from all over Europe. Likely standing below me is remains of many European nations who signed up to Hitler's cause in defence of what they thought was their country from the influence of communism, of the influx of the Red Army. I think I explained it really well earlier, but what needs to be understood here is that these guys are part of a fighting unit. They fought just like soldiers here on the front. They likely died around here on these fields and were buried here by their friends. So here we got more uniform. Let's just get a look at it. I'll use my glove side. We got original uniform. How's the live stream, guys? Is it good? Is it working? It's frozen. That's down to the network jumping on and off. I sadly can't do anything about it. You can see here the sleeve of a uniform with its belt hook still on it. There's a belt hook. But according to what I've just seen and felt, there's nothing in this in terms of identification. Einers has found this just here now. Seems to be the pieces of that leather or chemical protection boot. So this is all junk. What have you found?
I think that's a part of helmet, the outside part probably.
It could be, have you opened that?
There's a button or something on the inside.
Okay, can I do it live on camera?
Sure,
Okay.
go ahead.
Let's have a look.
I'd say
And what soldier did it come from? This one? Oh, so it's just lying here. Okay, so it belongs to this soldier. So there's a signal in this piece of paper. Well, it looks to be a bit of paper. Okay, and a bit of uniform.
is it running now?
Yeah,
I'll take a photo of you.
that sounds good. So it looks like a little zinc button. Sadly all broken up. It's a little zinc button from the uniform. And I'll actually leave it over here to be opened up with the prongs a bit better. Have a look inside that. It's zinc. I think it's a zinc button.
I don't know. Love.
Set it over at the side of the van. It needs to be looked at in a bit of a better way. Yeah, I just want to be careful here that even the slightest little figures on a piece of zinc could be interesting here. Stream's a little fuzzy, but good. A bit jumpy, I'm sorry guys. You can send us all that info, Richard. Do that, that would be really cool of you. I know we've got all the Kriegstageberichte, and we've got the assistance of the Volksbund and whatnot, so we have a lot of material already. I've got a hard drive with I think 16 gigabytes of stuff. So sadly there's just not enough time in the day to see all this. But do send us that. So it looks like we got something interesting here. I'll move over and get a look at it. But Richard, definitely, Richard Wade, send us a PM, please. So they seem to go on and on and on here. Everybody's busy already. At what seems to be an SS cemetery, a Waffen-SS cemetery. And we're on the trail now looking for identificational items. Likely, yes, Nordland volunteers. Seems to be. The police have been here already. We found a lot of ordnance laying around here, so all that stuff's going to get moved away now, luckily. If anything comes up interesting, I'll have a look. Michael, you want to show me that? Yeah, don't break it like that. It needs to be opened with a knife, for sure. Let's open it with a knife. Yeah, that's a compass. And it's stuck to a piece of uniform. So it seems that they've got their equipment on. They've still got a lot of their equipment on. Let's do this live. It's a Bakelite compass. Looks like it could be used by an NCO or an officer. And I'm going to open it with a knife because it would be really sad just to snap that. So let's open it up. So let's open this. Can you help me hold the camera and I'll open it? You can see Anders is freeing up a helmet here. You need to hold this part of the gimbal because it's turned off. So you need to hold this part of the gimbal, exactly. And you can see the compass. This is a compass. I'm going to open it. But I'm going to get a knife and some small tools first of all. I've got one. Thank you. And it's a compass from Bakelite, so let's have a look inside it.
Alright.
Just in case he's hidden something inside it or whatever, let's have a look.
Just came in the right time now.
And action. Can you spin that over? Sweet, got it. I have a knife here. A really good one, so let's do this properly. Can you see it?
Yeah, back on, mate.
So this is, for those of you that's watching, this is his uniform pieces, and I'm just checking it in case anything's laying inside it, against it. Now for sure it looks like there was paperwork here. Yeah, let's check with the pinpointer inside it. So there's no metal item in there. There's no metal item in there, like you. But let's have a look, because this looks like paperwork. But sadly it's all too badly corroded. Maybe some maps or something like this beside his beside it. Yeah, it's all sadly much too corroded already. Yeah, we've got nothing there, nothing savable. So we'll leave it to the side. Let's try and open this. For those of you that are watching, this is a compass. And it seems to be made of bakelite. And you can see here the arrow on it.
That'll be the front.
The
clip.
tractor's that. Yeah, there's a clip at the front of it.
That's-
Then. Yeah. But it needs removed that way,
Yeah,
right?
clean it around it.
I want to try and open it properly, just in case he's hidden something inside it.
Okay, the uniform. I'm not going to take it away. Yeah. Okay.
Any of those uniform pieces, put them in a pile and we can check it. Yeah, so here we've got the hinge at the back and the arrow.
That is the same arrow direction.
Yeah, it's got direction on it, but I've got a proper brush to do that.
Water.
Yeah, I've got it here. Not that one, this one. Yeah.
Compass.
This is a compass, yeah. Just in case something's wrote on it, something personal, these items should all be checked properly.
CNCO, an officer.
Exactly.
They might have the name, rank and number on it just in case I lost it.
Exactly.
Important item in the field.
And this was an issued item. Here we have the maker mark, which is a wartime code. It's CXN, for those of you that know wartime codes. This was coded because they didn't want them to fall into the enemy hands, so that they could be worked out where they were produced and then the factories bombed. And a lot of it was to hide these factories. You can see here the maker mark CXN. So it's a German-made compass, especially for. And here we can see here on the back the maker mark and the bakelite mark. Yeah, this is a bakelite item, which is a bit like a plastic item. And I'm going to try and slowly pry this open now, and it should open.
Clean the sides first.
Yeah.